After a deadly encounter with hornets, a rattlesnake, and even a bear, I'm still alive.
Under the sky, his name was Brian. I had told you anything else, I've been lying. Yo, go crazy, he's the one, yeah, he gave it done, cause he know the song, yeah, done. Under the sky, his name was Brian. I had told you anything else, I've been lying. Yo, go crazy, he's the one, yeah, he gave it done, cause he know the song, yeah. Under the sky, his name was Brian. I had told you anything else, I've been lying. Yo, go crazy, he's the one, yeah, he gave it done, cause he know the song, yeah.
How's it going, YouTube? This is Purple Grizzly, and if you're wondering what that song was, it was something my friend Taylor made on his iPhone, something a little cool I thought, so I figured I'd throw it in a video, so thank you Taylor for that. I might use it again, not sure. And also, before I start the commentary, I want to thank Little Broyak, or however you say his name, for providing me this Moab gameplay on the map Terminal. It's actually a pretty cool gameplay. You know, I've never had a Moab because I suck, but thank you. So he will have a link down in the description if you guys want to check him out, and let's get into it. So if I sound a little different, if I sound like my nose is kind of stuffed, it's because it is, because I woke up with a cold this morning. Freaking sucks. We all love having colds and being sick, at least I do. Not really. Alright, so let me start the story off. This takes place about a week and a half ago. I was backpacking with my youth group for a week. We went to this place called Royal Gorge, and it's actually it's a week-long backpacking trip. We go down to the North Fork of the American River in Northern California, and it's a fun trip. I love it. This is the third time I've been on it. We hike down, spend like a week, you know, along the river. Lots of like jumping rocks and swimming and lots of cool stuff. It's an overall amazing trip. It's awesome to get out and just unplug from everything. No technology, just you in the woods and survival. And I actually came face to face with Mother Nature a few times. I was staring death in the eye, but not really. I don't know. There's like one time I was kind of worried, like it scared the crap out of me. But I had to come face to face with 3 deadly, fearsome animals. And let me tell you guys the first one. So this is the second day of the trip. The first day we hiked in, and I'm going out to the bathroom in the woods, and you can already tell that's a great way to start off a story. I was going to the bathroom out in the woods, and as I started walking back to camp, and I see this girl Scarlett. She steps on a hornet's nest, and it's like, yippee. So I'm standing there watching her get stung, and I'm like trying to like avoid this because I'm like trying to be stealthy. Hopefully the bees won't see me, because if you get stung once, they actually inject like a pheromone, and so like every bee will attack you. And so she's screaming and crying. I'm like, oh, that sucks for her. And she brought it to this other girl named Millie, and Millie runs at me because we're friends. And she's like, Brian, what do I do? What do I do? She's like, you know, getting stung by bees. I'm like, well, don't come near me. Run to the water. And she just stand there. And then, so I'm like kind of backing up from her because I don't want to get engulfed in hornets. And so I'm walking backwards, and I step on the freaking nest. All right, it sucked. So I'm literally, I had the hornets probably the second longest out of the handful of people that got stung. I'm like running through the woods barefoot, like 200 yards all the way to camp, with these bees just stinging the freaking crap out of me, right? And I've been stung by bees before, but never have I like gotten fully like attacked by freaking hornets. So I think I got like 14 stings, 5 in my left arm, back of my head, legs, back. It sucked. All right, if you guys have been attacked by hornets, you know what I'm talking about. Because they like inject like a poison into you, and it literally just throbs for hours. And so yeah, it was not a fun day. But yeah, I guess there's a first time for everything, especially being attacked by hornets. You know, it really wasn't. It wasn't one of those things like, oh, I wish I can say I was attacked by hornets before. Like I could say that now, but it sucked. So after that experience, I guess I could describe hornets as nature's gang members, because I felt like I was being shanked repeatedly, just over and over again. So that's deadly encounter number 1. The second one takes place about 2 days later. We're about 3 miles down river at a different campsite, and we did this day hike to this giant, amazing, beautiful waterfall It's pretty awesome. It's an amazing place. So hiking back, right? We have to go across the river, do rock hopping, stuff like that. And right before we get back to camp, there's this wooded area where there's a nice flat trail. And I'm walking by myself, right? I'm kind of separated from everyone. Everyone's spread out at this point. And I'm walking along the trail, and as I take my left step, I look down, and I see a foot to my left is a freaking rattlesnake. Now, I've seen rattlesnakes before. I've seen them in the zoo, in behind a glass wall, which is, you know, pretty comfortable of a situation. I've seen them on TV. I've seen dead ones, but this was my first rattlesnake that I've seen actually alive and in the wild, right next to me. And it was a foot. It was a foot to my left, and I look at it. This thing was 4 feet long. All right, so this thing's 4 feet long. It starts to rattle and like curl up like it's gonna lunge at me. And literally, like, I'm kind of a big guy. I'm not skinny, but I'm not like morbidly obese. And this scared the crap out of me so bad. I literally leapt like 5 feet to my right. And you know, someone of my size, I didn't think that was possible. All right. It was insane. Like, my heart stopped for like half a second, and I don't know. I thought I was gonna die at first because this thing was big enough to really just like inject me with some pretty toxic venom. And we're at a point where there's no cell reception, and to get to a point where there's actually cell reception, to actually get like a helicopter in or something like that, it'd be like a few hour hike, and that would just, I don't know. But I'm glad I didn't get bit. I saw an older guy upstream, and I'm like still freaking out, right? I'm like Tom, there's a rattlesnake. So him and this other guy named Sam, they run over, and they like start killing it. And I'm like, you guys need help? And they're like, no, Brian, you're not in the right state of mind to help kill the snake. I'm like, whatever, all right. This thing almost took my life, so I'm just gonna stay back, watch. They ended up killing it, and I cooked it, and we ate it for dinner. So, you know, the analogy, you mess with the tree, mess with the forest, and I'm the tree. The snake messed with me, and so he messed with the forest, and everyone ate the snake, and it was pretty good. But yeah, that was literally like, it scared the living ball sack out of me. I was very scared. And so this third little encounter, I'm sitting on my tarp. This is, I think, the same night, and I'm sitting on my tarp where I have my sleeping bag and stuff set up, eating dinner, and my friend Jesse, who went on this trip, he also makes YouTube videos like I do. He does mostly real life stuff. He's a pretty funny guy, but he walks over to my tarp. He's like, hey Brian, check this out. And he takes his leftover dinner, walks 50 feet from my tarp, and dumps his food on a freaking bush. And I'm like, are you serious right now? And he's like, haha, I'm gonna bring the bears in. So I'm like, crap, alright, I've seen bears before, you know, I was actually more worried about the rattlesnake than I was bears, but it's later that night, it gets dark, I'm out pumping water by the river, because you have to filter your water, you can't just straight up drink it, or else you could get sick and die. So I'm doing that. I get back to camp, and I'm like, okay, I see a group of people by my tarp, what's going on? And they're like, Brian, did you see the bear? And I'm like, oh, here we go, freaking bear. And I guess, yeah, so a bear wandered in the camp, started eating food and stuff while I was out pumping water. And so I didn't actually see the bear on this trip, but I was kind of worried all night. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and like, okay, is there a bear over my head right now? Because it was a black bear, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to scare them. Not like grizzly bears; those things will rip you in shreds. But like, you're supposed to like scare it away. So I'm like, if I'm in a sleep bag and I wake up and there's a bear over me, I'm not gonna like scream or yell, because that thing's gonna freak and it's gonna murder me. But yeah, what I did though, I didn't actually see the bear, like I said. But what I did though before I slept is I started peeing around my sleeping area. Like, it's all about the side steps, guys. It's all about the side steps. You just gotta. I just marked my territory. I put up some nice defense lines, circled my tarp and urine, and I'm pretty sure it worked. So that's a good tip. You're afraid of wild animals coming in at night, just pee around your area. And yeah, so those were my 3 encounters with Mother Nature. Luckily, I made it out alive, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Also, remember to check out the guy who provided me with this wonderful gameplay. I do really appreciate that. And yeah, if you guys want to get in contact with me, I have a Twitter down below, I have Facebook, and I even have like some awesome Purple Grizzly clothing that, you know, people are buying. They're like, oh man, thanks for the t-shirt, dude. I'm getting all the chicks. And I'm like, you know what? That's what I'm here for. I'm here to entertain you guys. I'm here to help you out. And I hope this story entertained you. So, have a nice rest of your day. Life is a garden, so go out and dig it. Peace.